Now, back to the idea that if you plant the same seed in two different places, you get two different plants. This is what my brother RFG said. He said based on environment, you will get a totally different plant species. Well, I disagree with that also because, listen, we're all products of our environment. For example, if you grew up in the ghettos and your brother grew up in Bel Air, y'all gonna be two different people with two different codes of operation and two different lifestyles, but y'all still gonna have the same genes of y'all parents, and y'all still gonna be bound by blood. So what my brother did was relate environmental characteristics to bloodline, which is very inaccurate. The word is called environmental. Okay, think about that, people. Environmental, mental. It's mental, people. It's only mental, not genetic. If that was so, the word would be called envirogenetics. So when my brother gave the examples of the seed, in my opinion, that was inaccurate because environment has no effect on mitochondrial DNA, which always keeps its structure. So in other words, your environment can have an effect on your psyche and even your mentality, but your environment can't change who you really are. Although the environments that we live in today are designed to make us forget who we really are, they cannot alter our roots or alter the true essence of who we really are. And at any given time, we can always rise above our environment and tap back into our DNA and become who we're really supposed to be. So like I said, an apple is still an apple, whether you get it from South America or Canada, people. And if you don't believe me, you can go down to El Paso, Texas, and see people growing everything from apples to pomegranates to basil, spinach, watermelon, green beans, all in the desert. The list goes on. Now let's move on so I can drive this car home and make my conclusion. So yes, the woman gives the child her mitochondrial DNA. But my point is, where did she get it from? Every time we ask that question, we end right back up in the motherland. And I'm going to show y'all why. So stay with me. Let's address some more. My brother RFG was right about the woman passing her DNA to the child. And it is indeed her lineage that lives on. But also some of the fathers as well. For example, if a black man has a white mother and black father and he have sex with the white woman, you still don't get a white baby. The baby is still colored. So I say that to say this. He's not fully correct in the statement that mitochondrial DNA entirely dominates the process, although it is the strongest. Because as I said, take a black man who has a white mother and breed him with a white woman, you still get a black baby. So what that shows us about the situation is that even though his mother may be white who gave him the mitochondrial DNA, if he have sex with a white woman, the baby is still black. So evidently his black father's DNA had some dominance even over his white mother's mitochondrial DNA. Okay? And I'm going to show you why. And I'm going to show you why there is no differences among us. And I'm going to show you why races are indeed an illusion. Africans are the mothers and fathers of humanity. But what you're calling races is simply the many expressions of African ancestry. Again, one thing that stood out to me was when the brother said we're somehow more dominant than our African predecessors. Now, I'm one to even go so far as to call that blasphemy. To me, that's very disrespectful to our ancestors. And I love my brother RFG, but statements like that always hurt me to hear. My people will never be more dominant than our ancestors in any way. And in fact, we strive hard today just to get back to the greatness of Mother Africa. I tell people all the time when they talk about mitochondrial DNA that is the mother gene, and that gene originates in the motherland. So again, for all of you people who are talking about mitochondrial DNA and that we're somehow more dominant than the Africans over on the motherland, I must say again that when we talk about mitochondrial DNA, that is the mother gene, and that gene originates in the mother land. So how are we greater than the mother all of a sudden, people? Come on, people, use your head. Now let's move on with this. Now, something else I want to point out is that my brother said that they've been pushing this interracial dating about 15 years ago. I totally disagree with that. If you understand that each race on the planet is a result of the mixture among humanity. Let me say that again. Each race on the planet is a result of the mixture and interbreeding among humanity. So when we talk about they're pushing interracial dating 15 years ago, I disagree with it because this is ancient stuff we're talking about here. When you look at the Hispanics and the Asians and different cultures around the world that we see on the planet today, they all exist due to what you call interracial or the intermixing of humanity. Okay, what we must understand is that I have respect for every culture because every culture's civilization was created by great Africans who predated us all, and we should never place ourselves above those African ancestors in any way. Also, the truth of the matter is that every human being on this planet is a hybrid. Let me say that again. Every human being on this planet is a hybrid. Why do I say that? Because humans in their original form, if you want to talk about the gods from Africa, they were totally different from us in a lot of ways, y'all. They had certain brain functions that we are yet to discover. They were born with their pineal glands fully activated, ready to go. Today, us blacks in America, we have to activate our pineal glands. We have to do certain things to get our pineal gland, or what we call the third eye, open. Those people in those ancient times ain't have to do none of that. Okay, we've all been tampered with. We are all hybrids today, and we became hybrids due to what I like to call mad scientists. Okay, people in elite places of power who've gotten control of our diets, who've got control of the air we breathe, who got control of the most precious things that relates to our eating, our living, our thinking, and we have transformed today. So I tell my people all the time, stop saying that you are a god if you can't go outside and build a pyramid. Stop saying that you are a god if you have no telekinesis, if you can't close your eyes and go visit another planet on Sirius. Yes, we all can do it, but we haven't reached that point yet. So I say to people that say that, just my opinion, let's reach that point first before we accept the title, because to accept the title without having the attributes creates a false sense of achievement and a false sense of pride that just keeps us getting nowhere. And for my black people in America, we are not superior than our African ancestors. We the same people. See, in today's world, what we see among humanity is ego. We see that every race looks for information that would support the idea that they are better than the next race. But when we realize that there are no races, we will all begin to see the greatness in each other. Okay, one thing I like to point out is that when you deal with people who like to make themselves better than others, I look at it this way. If you walk in a room and you see a group of people arguing about who got the most melanin, my mother's black, your mother's white, so haha, I'm better than you, I walk out of that room. But what I will say is this: for people who like to put themselves on a pedestal and somehow make themselves better than everyone else, when you walk in a room amongst people who arguing like that, you know who's the better person in the room? Not the person who looks for information to make his people better than the rest of the people, but the person who looks for information to bring the people together. There's two types of people: some who look for information to make themselves better, and some who seek information to bring the people together. So let's move on with this, people. Now, what makes the African woman divine is the fact that she gave birth to humanity. So based on that, what we can say is that all people are her children. But then my question then would be, what type of mother separates herself from her children, and what type of mother would divide her children based on their differences? If a black mother has two children, one by a black man and one by a white man, I will hope that she left them both equally and never make one superior to the other, but instead embrace the unique uniqueness of them both, and also tell them that the only superiority that exists is the unity of their brotherhood. So just understand, my African people, that if you have an albino brother or sister, that you should never create a rank structure based on that, but instead you must create a bond based on the very fact that you are family. Now, concerning the Atlanteans and the Syrian gods that he spoke of, they were indeed a real group of people who predates us. They even predate Africans. But you must also understand that they never saw division among us. Look at it this way. You go to a rose garden, you see pink roses, white roses, and red roses. If you ask some people what they see, they'll say, I see pink roses, white roses, and red roses. But if you ask a holistic minded person what they see, they'll say, I see a rose garden. Now, concerning the idea of the black woman being the human manifestation of God on this planet, I say that a more accurate way to put this is to say that the African woman is the mother of humanity. The black woman can't be the human manifestation of God for the simple fact that God is referring to the male aspect of a deity. So what we can say is the African woman is a goddess and the African man is a god. People, we are all manifestations of the Creator. They call us man. And the first three words of manifestation is man. We are all manifestations of the Creator for the simple fact that we are the creations of the Creator. The woman is special because she's the life bringer. Now, I used to say that the woman is God, but the more you learn, the more you understand this concept. Check this out, y'all. The woman is very special and divine because she's the life bringer and she should be revered, but she is not the Creator all by herself. You must understand that we can't limit the Creator to one sex. In fact, we can't limit the Creator in any way. We revere the woman, but we must not forget that the entire creation itself is the manifestation of the Creator. In other words, the Creator exists in all things. The Creator is infinite. So not only is the woman the manifestation of the Creator, the child is also. The man is also. See, this Trinity, the mother, the child, and the man is what we see all on the walls of Kemet, because that is the manifestation of God. The entire family, people. You can't limit the Creator to one sex because the Creator is responsible for creating them both. How dare we limit it to one? So not only is the woman the manifestation of the Creator, the child is also. The man is also. In fact, the trees also. The water also. The air is also. The Creator exists in all things, and part of you becoming conscious is understanding the yin yang. The woman may be the yin and the man may be the yang, but the Creator is the complete symbol. Okay? The problem is that when people start their journey of enlightenment, they often still hold on to their religious concept of looking for an entity to worship. But the truth is that if you worship the woman and forget about everything else like the air, the sun, the planets, the water, the child, the man, then you're only paying respect to one attribute of the infinite power that exists in the universe. Notice how each ancient culture paid divine respects to all the elements of nature, including the woman, because all things are manifestations of the Creator, and balance is the key. People, we got to lose our seesaw mentality and understand that we indeed limit the Creator by confining the Creator to any particular object or being. The Creator is all things. I keep telling y'all this. Now, I got a video that'll go real deep into that concept in the description box. Check it out. I can't fully agree on what he said about the black woman's consciousness shifting to her ass. I can't fully agree with that because all black women ain't out here twerking, family. That's kind of stereotypical in a way because my mama don't fall into that category. And there's plenty of black women out here whose consciousness has has not shifted to their ass. I can't put all women in that bracket. And in fact, he's saying that we live in an ass world today. I respect my brother RFG, but I have to disagree again, because if you look at places like China and Japan, they ain't worried about who ass bigger. Hell, in the Middle East, they in love with they women and they got them fully covered. So come on, people.